Welcome to Bullseye. Your 4-1 South Florida Bulls ranked 24th. That's in the AP poll, as that's the writers, and we all know, Joey Johnston being a writer, that writers know everything. Writers are very smart.
Sometimes. We had some writers who didn't know too much earlier in the season, but anyway.
They've caught on to the Bulls.
Yeah.
I think maybe playing on a Friday night like the Bulls did in front of the entire country, a lot of people watching, and the Bulls winning this game by the score of 54-26. The offense was fantastic. Looked like they were going to celebrate Flashback Friday by scoring 80 points again. They were on that pace in the first quarter. I know there were some issues during the middle of the game. We'll talk to head coach Alex Golesh, I'm sure, about that. But overall, being not completely satisfied with the 28-point win, I think is a good thing in a weird way.
Yeah, it just speaks to where this program is. You win 54-26. How could you have a problem with that? Well, you look at dive deeper, and yeah, you got to play a little better than that, but it just speaks to how far this program has come, that you can pick apart little things even in a big victory.
We'll pick apart in a good way a lot of the good performances and some of the other stuff, and we'll also talk to Bobo Chenault as our player guest this week. But before we get to that part of the show, we definitely want to have our Robo Bowl recap. I thought we all got our polos on the radio side. I was very happy about that. But aside from how it affected me personally, what did you think?
Fun little throwback.
What did you think?
It's a fun little throwback. And I talked to Byram after the game and asked him, how much pride he has in building on the foundation that those before him have set, and that logo is a reminder of that. And he said, it's all thanks to them, and where they're at now is all thanks to them. And he was like, I'm so excited to throw it back and do our thing for the retro Robo Bowl, he said. So it was a fun night.
Now we had a little throwback night tonight. You had the old logo on your helmets. How much pride do you have in building on the foundation that those before you have set?
Man, I mean, the foundation that those before us set, helps us be where we are today. And, we're laying that foundation for generations to come. So, it's truly a blessing to put on for the Retro Bull.
You threw it back to a lot of great running back quarterbacks in Bulls history. Ran for a career best 162 yards, threw for 4 touchdowns in the win that put the Bulls to 4-1. And before we talk to the head coach about it and one of the great members of the secondary, let's get the cinematic recap.
Good evening from Raymond James Stadium. It's throwback night as the Bulls face the Charlotte 49ers.
This is their first conference game of the year. It's the most important one for them.
You get to set the standard, and they've been dominant in this series. It's going to be a pretty good Friday night.
This is one of his assets. He can really run when he needs to. Out comes a late flag.
And they're going to get 15 on top of that.
First time they've handed it off to a running back, and it's Cartavius Norton. 37 yards out for Cartavius Norton against his old team.
But you see it, give it to a running back, and good things happen. His first carry, and he's taking it to the house. Excellent blocking up front.
So now the first time that we'll get to see Charlotte on offense. Grayson Loftus is the quarterback, his 6th career start, and immediately Loftus is on the move.
You roll him out of the pocket, you see the speed in the secondary and defense of USF coming in close. You'll give him a couple-yard gain, force the punt.
Leaping catch into the air for Jeremiah Coger. 38 yards for Coger, a freshman out of Baltimore who had no stats before that catch right there.
Tremendous catch. He goes up. Byron Brown, all the time in the world, he throws a strike to Jeremiah Coger.
His 3rd and a lot. No shot, still shy of the 5-yard line on that carry. Jalen Schuler, they know what to do. It saves them so much time. They block the punt. South Florida special teams getting after it, and that is a safety.
Puts it in the belly of Sam Franklin, pulls it, and Franklin ends up becoming a lead blocker for him. Brown takes it around right end.
Brown throwing with pressure in his face. Flipping into the end zone for South Florida. Moody Rubin.
Yeah, this offense is humming.
Up into the air and into the hands of Jarvis Lee of South Florida. He gets his 2nd interception of the season.
Loftus said, I'm going to take a shot down the sideline, but Jarvis Lee, zero the nickel, is sitting on that hash, just waiting.
Throwing on the first play, the tackle made by Jarvis Lee.
Nice, square the shoulders and go by Davenport.
Jazz Nimrod with the catch, marches in the end zone. You blink and South Florida scores. Then throw out to Nicholas. Oh, ball comes out. Ben Knox has has it for South Florida. Looking towards the end zone, the catch is made. Jeremiah Coger's having a coming out party. Brown throwing after under center. Into the back of the end zone and a touchdown for Evan Dangler. Play action pass, throws it right to the defense. DJ Harris with the pick on the first play of the drive. Brown spins out of a tackle. Lowers a shoulder into the end zone. Davenport bouncing around in the end zone. And South Florida will take another 6. They start off conference play with a win, 54-26.
So there you saw it, a lot of great plays. Now Darek Sharp, Joey Johnston, joined by the head coach Alex Golesh. We do the radio postgame, and usually it's pretty straightforward of reaction. All positive, okay, we lost. This was one of those mixed bags, and I know it's been a few days. Let me just say, from a positive spin, you don't win by 28 points without having some big plays, but obviously a lot of things to clean up too.
Yeah, a ton to clean up. I think start with the positive, the turnovers defensively, I mean, absolutely huge. And at some critical times, you create 4 extra possessions, you should go win pretty handedly. The block punt, that's 4 out of 5 games we've scored on special teams, which we count that as a takeaway, as an extra possession. So you're talking about 5 extra possessions. So absolutely huge. You rush for 400 yards. Absolutely huge. The way we started defensively the first 8 drives, absolutely huge. The way you finish the game, end up finishing really strong, super positive. So a ton of positive. On the flip of that, there's this middle 30 minutes where it was as sloppy at times as you can imagine. Not from an effort standpoint. I think that's the encouraging piece. Is from an effort standpoint, I thought our guys played really hard, physical, violent at times, really hard. But you turn it over 4 times. 2 of those lead to touchdowns. You some absolutely crazy penalties, which lead to crazy field position deals, and you're changing the way the game is played. And so when you combine all that, you look at it statistically, win by 28, I think where we are as a program right now, I would tell you that it was a really somber, disappointed group that got coached really hard, which is easier to do through a win. I think probably even a year ago, we couldn't handle that. Right now, our guys are in a frame of mind where they want to learn, they want to grow, they want to understand why it happened, and I think are slowly but surely understanding that they truly control how and why it happens that way. And so certainly a lot to teach off of. It's way easier to coach really hard through a win, and we certainly did that. And I give our leadership a ton of credit, the maturity to take the coaching and then to come out and work the way that they're working right now to make sure that it doesn't happen again. And I think the biggest thing you take away from it, and our guys understand, is the better the competition, the smaller those margins are. And what we did in terms of opening margins up last week against a really good football team, you'll never come out on the positive side of that. And it's not a knock on anybody you play, it's just the truth. And we've had games against really good football teams this year where we've not expanded those margins. We've shrunk them down, and we've been really detailed. And again, just as much coaching as it is playing, the challenge is to tighten the screws on the entire ship and keep going.
Coach, anybody that was at the game or watched it on TV certainly knows that Cartavius Norton had what looked like a serious injury. Got some good news. He's up and around, back on campus, back with the team. Speak about how he's doing, and not that this is even as important as that, but how the backs are affected, what you're going to do in the backfield without Cartavius available. Yeah,
so he's a resilient, tough young man, and I give him a lot of credit. I think he's handled it extremely well in terms of understanding that it's a long road back at this point. But he's got a smile on his face, and I think really feels fortunate that he is back on campus and that he is able to start a rehab plan. But he's got a long journey ahead of him. It's going to take him time, possibly some procedures here to get him as healthy as imaginably possible. But he's a tough, strong, really, really positive young man, and I give him a lot of credit. I think our running back room without C5 is going to be not much different than what you've seen. It's been a little bit crowded. We've been trying to give guys opportunities and have kind of rode the hot hand as we've gone. And every week it seems to be a different guy. I think they're settled in. I don't know that there's a true rotation right now. I think you want to give guys an opportunity to continue to go. But that also tells you that we got a bunch of guys we trust in that room, which means there's depth. And it hopefully is some added opportunity for a couple of the young guys that they can take and run with. But I think as you look at Sam Franklin's gotten better every week. He's gotten more comfortable in the system. Alvon Isaac has had some incredible moments. Nakai Davenport has had some awesome moments here. And so as we continue to go and build forward, does Chase Garnett get a little bit? We've challenged him. We've challenged Trey Kinkle, who's done a lot for us on special teams. But I think it'll continue to be by committee to a certain extent, and we're going to continue to ride the hot hand.
You know, we could talk about Byram every single week, but I thought it was interesting. I chatted with Joel Gordon before we started taping. He was saying hi to Bryce Archie, by the way, who dropped by practice, go Reds, next year. And Coach Gordon said that this might have been one of his most impressive performances because guys are dropping the ball and he's not letting it affect his game whatsoever. And obviously he's running for a career high in yardage. How impressed were you?
Yeah, Byram is this really, really confident older version of himself right now. He'll be the first to tell you there were some mistakes that were made by him, things he can't control, ball security. And I told him, and I tell our guys all the time, like, interceptions will happen. They're certainly preventable in a lot of ways, but some will happen. They'll be whatever, a deflected ball, a guy in a couple inches off. Not that they're acceptable, but they happen. Ball security in terms of fumbles is totally preventable. And I think that's where Byram will be hard on himself and tell you that it's on him. Where Byram's growth has come, and he's always kept a straight face, and he's always kept a very cool demeanor about him. But now he's got the true confidence to just bounce back and play the next play, and bounce back and play the next play. And like you said, there were some drops early in the game, uncharacteristic of the guys that dropped them. And the positive outlook, the energy Byram continues to bring, I think just gives everybody confidence around him, both Coach Gordon and the coaching staff, but certainly the players around him. And I give Byram so much credit that he now has this incredible sense of when he feels like momentum's not going our way, he truly knows that he can actually flip the momentum on his own. When you touch the ball every snap, you got a chance to change the momentum at any point. And you've seen him do it with his legs. You've seen him do it with his arm. I give him a lot of credit for just keeping an even keel the entire time. Really, really impressed with his growth and as he continues to go.
So as we go to North Texas, believe it or not, first time the Bulls have left the state of Florida this year. Have played on the road, though, at Florida and at Miami, and I would imagine that experience has to come into play for all your road games the rest of the year. You've been in some really tough environments. How important is that going to be as you go on the road the rest of the season and try to win some games in some tough places?
Yeah, I think anytime it's one thing to prepare, and we got crowd noise going, we got all sorts of craziness out there to try to make it about something other than the ball, to create as much distraction as you can to force your guys to focus on the snap count and certainly the football. I think when you go into those environments and you have success in those environments, it truly gives you real confidence. The preparation and the work gives you a level of confidence that you should be able to go compete at a high level. But when you've been there, you've done it, and you've had success, we've also made some mistakes in those environments that you can learn and grow from. I think you earn the right to be confident. And so for our guys to be able to go on the road, to play in a night game, to play in what should be a really cool environment, to play on national TV, all of those things just continue to raise the stakes of what we're doing, which is continuing to play for something meaningful. Now we're in the middle of October, and you're playing meaningful football games. As you continue to build the program, you want to get to November and December and continue to play meaningful football games.
Next 3 road opponents for the Bulls are all undefeated, all conference. This North Texas team, I know you have a good relationship with their head coach, who's known for his offense, but the defense is stronger this year, so it's a formidable unit you're going up against.
Yeah, I think that's probably the biggest thing that you see is offensively, Eric's always done a phenomenal job. They're playing really well right now. The receiver core is really, really good. The O-line is a veteran group, running the football really well, protecting the quarterback at a high level. And then the quarterback is playing as well as anybody in the country right now in terms of yardage, in terms of efficiency, completion percentage, no turnovers. And then the ability to run the football as well, just really, really impressive. But like you said, defensively, new staff. Most of the staff comes from Sam Houston. 5 starters come from Sam Houston with them, and you see this this one really physical group, but really, really well coached. There's not just a ton of guys out of position. It's really impressive in a year what they've been able to do defensively. Effort, scheme, everybody on the same page. No busts on that film where you're you know, us, we're trying to find every crevice we could find that you can get a cheap one, and there really isn't out there. So you're gonna have to go earn it the old-fashioned way. You're gonna have to run the football and create on the perimeter. But really, really impressed. Special teams on top of that, dynamic in the return game. The specialists are really good, really sound. They found ways to fake one, steal one. Really over the last 3 years. So I think a really good football team, a really well-coached team. Like you said, I got a ton of respect for Eric. I've coached against him as a player, I've coached against him as a coach, and we become really good friends, and we share the bond of marrying Arkansas girls. So,
how about that?
Nice. So the
fun fact for you.
That's great. I like it. The North Texas quarterback, he's a redshirt freshman, hasn't thrown an interception yet. A dual threat guy. Tell us more about this kid and what you need to do to defend him.
Yeah, really, really confident right now. You know, through their first 5, he's been in control of the games. You talk about a redshirt freshman that had 1 start going into the season, which was the bowl game, which was also really impressive. And what a cool story, a young man that didn't start a football game in high school. And I don't know him, but I would imagine an incredibly mentally tough young guy, and certainly really physically tough on the field. He you know, reminds you a lot of our guy in the sense of he'll put his shoulder down, he'll create momentum with his feet, but he's been really, really accurate. Looks incredibly well coached, accurate, on time, and has been able to get out of trouble and create with his feet. So looks to be a really polished, does not look like an 18, 19-year-old. Looks really polished, looks like everybody around him believes in him. And really, really good quarterbacks, high-end quarterbacks, make others around him better, and he's certainly done that.
It'll be the Bulls and North Texas under the Friday night lights in North Texas, so it's going to be a great environment. Looking forward to it. Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
Hey, a guy that we've been looking forward to watching that defense, Bobo Chenault, is our guest next. Stay tuned. Darek Sharp, Caylee, Cottrell with the man they call Bobo, James Chenault. Let's start off with number 9 and asking you, do you even answer to James anymore?
Yes, I do.
Okay, good.
You know, when I'm in the school area in my different zone, I'm not on the field. Some people do call me James, but I am known as Bobo around campus.
Okay, so it's not like you're in trouble, you're going to hear James. Okay, that's important.
Well, I still have a vivid memory from last year when DVD crashed our post-game interview yelling, "Air Bobo."
Air Bobo.
That's right.
Freshman All-American, baby. Let's go. Yes, sir.
So much fun. Tell us like the backstory on how the nickname even happened. Bobo, Air Bobo, all the above.
I'll just say I grew up like in my childhood with that nickname. I'm a junior on my last name, so my dad grew up with that name. I guess like he just outgrew it and he passed it off to me, so I just been expanding it ever since. Just been going along with it. Like I just been liking it.
So young Bobo, and then of course he became physically just this massive Bobo. Massive Bobo doesn't have quite the same ring, but tell people you put on some weight. What was the off season like to get to that point where you are now?
Just being more in tune with my body and my training, getting myself better overall as a player, and just getting closer with the coaching staff, the training staff, my teammates, and just getting better overall.
It's a great staff, isn't it?
Yes,
Could you sort of give people an idea? Everyone sees who's actually coaching you on the field, but the off-the-field staff, give people an idea.
They're great. Like overall, like making sure you're good as a person, like on and off the field. Like, they'll make sure you're straight, like meals, school, like everything. Like, it's good stuff.
Do you have a favorite meal? I mean, we always end up talking about food.
It feed us so much. Like, I don't know. I'm stuck between it. We get the oxtail, and then we have Panda Express too. So I really be stuck between those two. I ain't gonna lie.
So it's not like you have to pick a favorite because you're going to get it every few days. That's where I want to be. All right.
Keep the weight up.
I promise this will be the last time anyone asks you about it. We'll get into. He knows what I'm going to ask him about. But we'll get into this year's team. There's been plenty going on this year. Yeah. But when you came on the scene, it was against Tulsa last year, and I'll bring it to this past game because 23-0 first quarter. Just the other day was the most points the Bulls had scored in the first quarter since 28 against Tulsa last year, and the man that kept it 28-0 by running down a guy that looked like he was going to have an 80-yard touchdown pass. So, do you still get reminded outside of this about that play, and take us through it?
Yes, I definitely do. Like, it's definitely a monumental play in my career. Like, definitely a standout play. But it was just amazing being like out there, being a part of something like as a team, like as a freshman. To be honest, just getting that experience, and I'm just happy to be a part of it and just proud of my teammates.
And I remember the speed aspect.
Yeah.
Didn't they time you, or do you remember?
Yeah, it was probably like, I think 23 miles per hour.
Okay. If I got my bike up to 23 miles an hour, I would wreck my bike. That's
so
how fast
impressive.
he was running.
Hey, I think that was the same game. Ben Knox punched out and took possession at the 1-yard line too. I mean, talk about how this defense just never quits on plays.
Wow, that was a fantastic play. Like, that play was crazy. I really thought he scored, and then Ben ended up with the ball at the end. So it's just like staying on the course of finishing plays. Like, we harp on that in our room so much. Like, we're big on finishing plays, even if the play doesn't start how you want. Like, it can still end as a good result. So, like, just harping on yourself about finishing plays and being big on that.
Well, as we talk about this year, those plays came after one guy had 77 yards, another guy had about 50 yards. You guys are making plays when they're at 2 and 3 yards and shutting them down. This secondary is very physical and all over the ball. Yes, could you speak on your group?
I just say we just coming out trying to get 1% better every day. Like, to have a chip on our shoulder or getting 1% better. We know it's teams out there chasing to be as good as us, or we're trying to be as good as teams that they say is better than us. So we're just going out there trying to get 1% better every day and just putting our head down and working and not looking for the result and what would it look like if we do something or like something like that.
What type of impact, I have to know, does DVD have on this group? Because I see him every practice running down the sideline with you guys. He's Coach Juice over there. So what's he like?
He definitely have a huge impact. Like, I love the energy he brings. Like, you cannot come into practice without like smiling around DVD. He's going to make you laugh. He's going to make you enjoy practice. And he just coaches you to be better. He don't let you get comfortable with, say if you made a play or something, he don't let you get comfortable with like making the play. He wants you like to do something better, like each and every play, like it's something better you could be doing. So I'll just say like him bettering you and wanting you to be better, like as a person overall, like that's definitely like something I like about him.
I don't know if you saw it, but DeMarcus Van Dyke might have been the leader after the Gator game when the assistant coaches were all running through the hall going crazy.
I seen that video.
Oh, you saw that, getting on the elevator.
So
by the way, side note, I don't think people know that the elevator got stuck.
No, for real?
Yeah, it did. The two teams were separate. But why he was so excited that game.
Yeah.
Well, we'll talk about the whole performance of the defense, especially the first two games against Boise and Florida as a whole. But the interception you made against the Gators really was a kind of a statement play. I mean, you have to do a lot of work, put in a lot of work to be able to make those plays. Take us through it.
We definitely, that week against Florida, we was definitely big on staying on top of our posts and on our own, like, big posts and making big plays down the field because we know it would be a game, like, against them where we have to make big plays down the field. So that game, I knew I had to, like, hold my own out there. So, like, just going out there and being myself and the confidence that I brought from practice, from my coaches, like, they believe in me, like, just going out there with that chip on my shoulder, I know that I have people behind me. Just going out there to be able to play free and fast.
And I know you want to get a lot more big wins, but how important was that one? What did that, I know you guys were a confident group, did that even lift it a little bit?
Yes, but we don't really treat like one game as a big game. We think every game is a big game because it's the next, so like it don't really affect us that much.
All right, well, it was a good one nonetheless, and you guys had another good one with 4 more turnovers just the other day. So when you get into that mode where one guy's forcing the ball out, one guy's making a pick, does it get contagious, and can you guys even improve because you're doing pretty well?
Yes, it does get contagious because once you see somebody else make a play, you know you can make a play out there. It's like once like your brother do something and he does it for you, you want to do it for him like back again. It's like a tit for tat thing. So like, yeah, I'll definitely say something like we feed off each other.
Nice.
I've talked to Mac about the identity of this defense, and it's just so physical at the point of attack. How would you describe this unit as a whole?
I'll say we were physical like all around the board, from the back end and the front seven and everything. Like it's really based off, it really run through Mac and Shoe. Like they set the tone all the time. We can't come out there half stepping with them. So you got to come out there on your P's and you got to run and hit.
A lot of the guys, well, actually, I think every guy in the secondary is from Florida. So I know we've spoken about that in the past with your position group coaches, but they think that you don't have to go outside of the state of Florida and to get guys. What is it about the defensive backs, and what is it about that part? Is it speed? Is it strength? Is it a mindset? Because you guys got it going.
I just think it's a hunger, like, of getting better every day, or like not competing against each other with the person next to you, but competing with each other, like getting the person next to you better with you, bringing him along, like, cause you only as good as your weakest link. So, like, if your weakest link good, everybody would be good.
You were at Orlando Jones High School. Did you compete against any of your now brothers on the team, or do you remember any of that?
I played against Jair Murphy. He played quarterback at Dr. Phillips. We played in sophomore year, I think.
He was QB?
Yeah, he played.
Mr. Punt Blocker was QB?
Yes.
Was he a good QB?
Was he? Jair was a good QB. I got to give him that. I get props when they do. I got to.
I love it. Now, being from Orlando, do you have family and a good support system close by that comes to games? What does that look like?
Of course. Every game, my parents, uncles, cousins, aunties, everyone wanted to come support. So it's like,
I love it.
I have to get extra tickets from my teammates here and there. Oh, yeah, you get a ticket. I'm asking everybody, I need extra tickets, because it's like so much people that want to come support me. So it's definitely close, and like, it's so easy for my family to come and support me. Like, even at fall camp practices and, just coming down here on the regular and seeing me having lunch, anything.
Oh, that's nice.
That's so great.
Well, I got to ask you, a lot of members of the family. Yep. Is there one that, there's been a lot of praise. Do you have one that's that other guy or person? Hey, I need you to work on this particular skill set, Bobo.
Yeah, it's just definitely my uncle. Like, it don't really matter, like, what good I do. Like, even against the pick I have against Florida, he told me, like, a handful of plays I could have got better on. So, like, I definitely take that into consideration. Like, I don't really get mad at criticism. I like criticism because I feel like once I get criticism back, I know how to better myself, like, from the criticism. So, yeah.
That's awesome, Uncle. Come on.
It's good. It's good. It's all good.
Okay, good.
It's good.
Talking about guys who would give you tips. I mean, you mentioned Mac and Shu, the older guys on the team, because you're a younger guy on the team. We were talking before the camera started rolling. He's an 06 baby over here. 06. So he couldn't believe I started texting on an iPod where he was raised with the phone already with the touch screen.
Yeah. And like, iPod is so crazy. Like, we use that in the training room. Listen
Do you
to
actually?
Yeah, they still use iPods right now.
Whose iPod?
I don't know who iPod it is, but it's definitely have one upstairs. I don't know.
All right. I don't even want to talk to you about communication pre-internet, which I can speak to, but that's a different show. All right, you mentioned every game's important. As we wrap it up here, Bobo, what's you guys' outlook going into Friday night? Because that's going to be an undefeated team. It's going to be on national television. They don't host a lot of ranked teams. The Bulls are ranked, so how do you got to be ready?
Just going in there and keeping our preparation the same as we did for every game, not treating this bigger than the next. The next game is the best game, so like we don't really treat no opponent like bigger than the next. So just going in there, keeping our process the same, coming out and trying to do what we do as Bulls.
Keep doing what you're doing, number 9. I'll just say it. I know your uncle's going to have to allow me to praise him here. When I see number 9 on somebody, I know that it's going to be okay on that spot. I know the whole defense is kind of in the same boat, and that's a great thing. Thanks a lot.
I appreciate y'all so much.
All right, that's Bobo. We'll wrap up Bullseye shortly.
Go Bulls.
All right, I don't know about you, but I'm set for a big one on Friday night. Yeah, Friday Night Lights in Texas actually might have some competition.
Yeah,
because
there'll be a few high school football games going on, and they'll be well attended as well. But yeah, it is kind of cool. Friday Night Lights in Texas. I mean, this is a mythical environment we're going into for football in general.
And they're doing some things to make sure that the North Texas community comes out, right?
Yes, the president has canceled classes for Friday afternoon. Wow. They have a BOGO ticket offer. They're going to have a halftime fireworks show. There's a lot of stuff going on. This is definitely a big game in North Texas that we're rolling into. Hopefully we'll be able to withstand this environment.
I think we've proven that we can hold our own in some good environments
For
so far,
sure.
I think.
For sure. Maybe you can be there on the sidelines diffusing the fireworks while no one's watching. And I don't know what the big deal about skipping class on Friday is. That was my Friday.
You always skip class on Friday,
right?
right?
That was my Friday.
It's routine.
Or you didn't schedule class on Fridays. I don't think I had many Friday classes.
Hey, I enjoyed my trip to Denton. It was very unique last year with women's basketball. It snowed, which it never does apparently, so that was cool. But you've been there, right?
Yeah, I went last year with men's basketball for the first time. This California girl was very happy that there was an In-N-Out.
Oh
in
my gosh.
Denton.
Yeah.
So looking forward to that again.
And I got to see Caylee drink a milkshake, which doesn't happen every day, I can assure you. I should have taken a picture.
Last time she did it, actually. When was the last time you were there, Joey? I know the Bulls have played there a couple
Yes.
times, right?
Well, the last time I was there for football, believe it or not, was 2002 when the Bulls had a non-conference game there, and I remember it was a much smaller stadium. The Bulls won the game and stayed over the next day to cover the Cowboys game as Emmitt Smith was going for the all-time NFL rushing lead, the former Florida Gator. So that was a long time ago, but yes, I do have a little bit of history there in North Texas.
Well, they have been in the conference for a couple of years, but this is the first meeting between the teams, and we've talked about it with Coach Golesh, how their defense has improved. They are 8th in the country in pass defense, and as far as that incredible story, their redshirt freshman quarterback has gotten them to the red zone 31 times and 25 touchdowns, so they are really humming along. And they are 5-0 for the first time since 1959. Funny, last week we were talking about our memories of the first Bulls football game. Obviously, none of us were alive in 1959, right, Joey?
I was barely alive, believe it or not.
I was going to let you off the hook.
That is
I was going to let you off the hook.
December of 1959, Derek. You can do the math, but that is my birthday. But
Wow.
I was a child of the 60s, but technically I was born in the 50s, believe it or not.
The 60s.
Yeah.
So he doesn't quite remember the 5-0 start.
Not really.
Let's hope it's 5-1. And we'll talk about it next week on Bullseye. For my co-hosts, Joey Johnston and Caylee, Cottrell, and of course for our guests, Alex Golesh and Bobo Chenault, I'm Darek Sharp. As always, keep those horns up.